Sunrise.
Now, if you was to ask my followers on Twitter, what do you think of first when you see me, they would without a doubt say Wind Waker. I mean, I tweet about it every other day, mainly begging Nintendo to finally port Wind Waker HD over to the Nintendo Switch. Now, looking through my YouTube channel, I haven't actually uploaded a video purely based on Wind Waker HD coming over to the Nintendo Switch. I've played Wind Waker on the channel, I've spoken about it a few times in different videos, but I haven't made one purely on Wind Waker HD coming to the Switch, and as the Wind Waker guy himself, we have to change that here today. Now look, I'm sure if you went around and asked majority of Nintendo fans, do you think Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD will eventually come to the Nintendo Switch? They'd say yes, without a doubt. Most people aren't questioning whether or not it's going to come to the Switch. They're questioning when it's going to come to the Nintendo Switch. Because if you think about it, the rumors have been going on for years now. I think mainly because it's a safe rumor. You know, all the Wii U ports that have come over, it's pretty safe to assume that it's going to come over. But I'm pretty sure if you go as far back as 2018, people have been saying it's going to be this year, it's going to be this year, and we're in 2022 and it still hasn't happened. Now let's talk about today. When will Wind Waker HD come to the Nintendo Switch? If we look through some of the facts, the last 3 major Wii U games yet to come to the system is Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, and Xenoblade Chronicles X. Every other game from Mario Kart 8, Hyrule Warriors, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, there've been Tokyo Mirage Sessions for crying out loud. And the games that haven't, such as Splatoon, Mario Maker, Smash, have of course all had sequels. Now Nintendo likes to release a Zelda game every single year. We've seen it happen since 2013. Now of course this year was supposed to be the year we got the sequel to Breath of the Wild, but I think most people, including myself, knew that it's, you know, very likely to get delayed. So that leads to the question, what are Nintendo going to do this year for their Zelda release? Now I think most likely they have had both these games on the back burner for a very, very long time, and they've been thinking to themselves, okay, let's not release it and jump the gun. Let's hold on to it just in case we have a empty year, right? And I think they were mainly saving it for Breath of the Wild 2. They were probably thinking, you know, Breath of the Wild, the first game has been delayed a lot. You know, we don't want to risk not having a game for 2022. So let's just save these games just in case. Now, whether or not they'll release them both in the same year, again, if they release one and then save the other for another potential empty year, who knows? Who knows if they'll do it in a double pack? Who honestly knows? It's Nintendo. They're so unpredictable at this point. But let's look through some other reasons. So we've got the reason that Zelda games come out every year, and this year is a particularly empty year for Zelda because Breath of the Wild 2 has been delayed. Let's look at another reason. Wii U ports sell incredibly well. Okay, when they first started coming out, they were a little bit controversial because yes, they're ports of old games. Not many changes are made to them and they are priced at the full $60 or £50, right? But these Wii U ports sell well, bro. They always sell better than what they originally did on the Wii U, and I know that may not seem like a big of a deal because yes, they are just ports of an old game. Some people may have already played them, but they still sell better, and in some cases they sell extremely better. Looking at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, comparing the sales of that game to the original is mind-blowing, especially when you think it's only a port. And even looking at like Pikmin 3 Deluxe, for example, it's still sold a little bit better, and Pikmin is a little more, you know, of a quieter franchise. So the fact that these games, even when Nintendo don't need to put much effort into it, still sell well is obviously like free money to Nintendo. I highly doubt they will make barely any changes to Wind Waker or Twilight Princess HD. They might have to remove a few things. They might, you know, increase the graphics a little bit, whatever. So if you were Nintendo and you had these last few games sat on the Wii U, with Xenoblade Chronicles X is a little bit different because that's a different company behind it, right? They decide whether or not it's going to come over. But with these two games, they could quite easily sell Wind Waker at full price and Twilight Princess at full price and sell them separately, right? Why would they miss out on that opportunity? Why would they not want to bring these games over, which, by the way, people are begging for? I'm not seeing it so much with Twilight Princess, but Wind Waker, people are begging for this game to come to the Switch because most people haven't tried this game out. You've got to remember, Wind Waker originally came out on the GameCube, which was an amazing console, right? Don't get me wrong, but it didn't sell all that well. So not many people got to experience this game. And then of course it was remastered on the Wii U, which sold appallingly. So again, not many people got to experience this game. Yes, the Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube, but you know, majority of people who bought a Wii weren't going out and buying GameCube games for it. right? You got to think the casual audience are dumb. They probably didn't know that the Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube, right? So potentially for the first time, Wind Waker will get the chance to release on a console that is selling like hotcakes. 107 million units, we've just seen it sold. Think about all those people who will buy and be able to experience Wind Waker for the first time. I mean, look at Skyward Sword. Last I checked, it was at like 3.6 million units sold. It's not even been out for a year yet. And that was an extremely controversial release in itself. People were like, bro, really? They're charging full price for this game. It's barely got any changes, blah, blah, blah. But it still sold well, right? So I think Wind Waker would sell better. I think Wind Waker could easily hit 5 million on the Switch, especially with how many people want to try it nowadays, right? Even Twilight Princess will sell well. There's Zelda games, bro. So honestly, it just makes sense. A reveal could happen in a potential direct. That could happen in June, maybe even as late as September. Maybe they shadow drop it on Twitter. Either way, people will lose their minds. And even if you don't care about these games, you've got to admit, it's just a logical thing to do. But then again, applying logic to Nintendo sometimes doesn't go all that well. But look, I just love Wind Waker. I really want to see it have a chance on a system that's performing well and see more people get introduced to this game, this amazing game. And then finally, I will shut up. Finally, I will stop begging Nintendo on Twitter to port this game to the Switch, because I know people are probably getting sick and tired of it. But look, I'm passionate about the game, all right? I love the game. One of my favorite games of all time, and I can't wait for more people to potentially try it.
Sunrise.